I like to drink with TT because TT is my mate. I like to drink with TT because she gets it down in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I like to drink with Mia because Mia is my mate. I like to drink with Mia because she gets it down to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go back.
On the night of January 10th, 2024, a Facebook Live session ended. 30 minutes later, a young woman was lying face down in her driveway with a bullet in her back. Her name was Mia Nixon. She was a 21-year-old woman. Earlier that evening, she appeared in a live stream where a heated argument broke out. During the broadcast, she was labeled a setup queen, a street term used to describe someone accused of betraying others, often leading them into danger. The comment didn't go unnoticed. Viewers saw the argument unfold live. There was shouting, accusations. Then the stream ended. Half an hour later, emergency services responded to reports of gunfire outside Mia's house. She was pronounced dead on the scene. Police launched an immediate investigation. Within days, a suspect was named, Damien Laron McDaniel III, a man already under surveillance for a string of violent crimes, including the fatal shootings of a Birmingham firefighter and a UPS employee. Soon, detectives began to suspect that Mia's death was not an isolated case. It was part of a much larger pattern. This case is not about chance. It's about sequence, timing, and intent. One live stream, one word, one body. The events that follow would uncover something much bigger than one young woman's death. And it all started with a name on a Facebook Live. Was Mia's murder a response to what happened on Facebook Live? Who stood to gain from her death? Was this a personal grudge or a paid hit? If you're captivated by real crime stories that peel back the layers of truth, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Your support means a world to us as we uncover real cases, raise awareness, and give a voice to the voiceless. Before we dive into today's story, we want to hear from you. Where are you tuning in from? And how do you feel as the story unfolds? Welcome to Deadly Crime Unmasked, the show where we expose the shocking crimes that rip through communities and the chilling secrets lurking behind closed doors. These are real people, real events, real consequences. Don't forget to subscribe and activate notifications. You won't want to miss the gripping story that's coming up. Now, let's dive in. Mia Nixon was a 21-year-old woman who lived in Birmingham, Alabama. She became widely known not through traditional media, but through her presence on social media, particularly on Facebook Live. Mia was part of a growing number of young people who use live streaming platforms to broadcast their daily lives, respond to rumors, and engage in real-time conversations with friends, fans, and even critics. Mia lived with her family in a residential neighborhood on the west side of Birmingham. She was not a celebrity, but she had a growing online following. Her videos often featured her speaking directly to the camera, sometimes addressing drama, neighborhood conflicts, or clearing up misunderstandings. These live videos became popular among her local peers, drawing in hundreds of viewers at a time. Some people watched out of support, while others watched because of the tension or arguments that occasionally surfaced during her broadcasts. Though her online activity made her visible, Mia did not have a known criminal record. Public records and police statements confirmed that she had no history of arrests, convictions, or known association with gang activity. She was not being actively investigated for any crimes at the time of her death. In fact, by all available data, Mia appeared to be a typical 21-year-old woman navigating her social life, both offline and online. On January 10th, 2024, 21-year-old Mia Nixon followed a routine day in Birmingham, Alabama. According to friends, neighbors, and social media activity, there were no warning signs or unusual behavior observed throughout the morning or early afternoon. Mia was reportedly at home, possibly using her phone, and interacting casually with people online. She did not mention any threats, disputes, or concerns about her safety. No suspicious individuals were reported near her residence at that time. Her household and local environment remained quiet, with no police activity or public disturbances. Later in the day, Mia initiated a Facebook Live session. This was not unusual for her, as she frequently used the platform to share her opinions and respond to comments from friends and followers. Multiple viewers joined the live stream, and as the comments increased, a heated verbal exchange began between Mia and one or more individuals watching. During the broadcast, voices could be heard off-screen, suggesting a nearby confrontation. At one point in the live stream, someone accused Mia of being a setup queen, a slang term implying that she had allegedly lured people into dangerous situations or betrayals. The context of the accusation is unclear, but it instantly changed the tone of the conversation. The accusation was made directly and repeatedly. Mia responded verbally, denying the claims. She appeared frustrated but not fearful. The live stream continued for several minutes as viewers commented, argued, and added their own opinions. Some viewers encouraged the dispute, while others tried to de-escalate it in the comments. As tensions rose, the confrontation became more serious. However, there was no visible sign that physical violence was about to occur. Mia eventually ended the live stream abruptly, without providing any explanation. Based on timestamps, the Facebook live session ended around 5:30 p.m. 30 minutes after the live stream ended, Mia Nixon was shot outside her home. The exact time of the incident is estimated between 6 o'clock and 6:05 p.m. based on 911 call logs and witness reports. Mia had reportedly stepped outside her residence, located on the 1000 block of 13th Way Southwest. She was either standing or walking the driveway when the shooting happened. At least one gunman fired multiple shots at her. The shooter did not stay at the scene. No video footage of the actual shooting has been released to the public. Neighbors in the area reported hearing gunshots and immediately called 911. Multiple calls were placed, confirming the sound of gunfire and an injured person lying motionless in the driveway. Several neighbors also mentioned seeing a vehicle speed away shortly after the shots were fired. However, no license plate details or clear vehicle description were provided at that time. Birmingham Police Department arrived at the scene. They found Mia Nixon unresponsive with multiple gunshot wounds. The area was immediately cordoned off with crime scene tape. Officers secured the perimeter and kept residents back while detectives and forensic teams arrived. First responders attempted life-saving procedures, but Mia was declared dead at the scene. Officers marked and photographed all evidence, including bullet casings found near her body. The death was treated as a homicide investigation from the beginning because Mia had been seen on a Facebook Live video just 30 minutes earlier during a heated argument. Police knew this case might involve people close to her or known in her social circle. Detectives first focused on the Facebook Live broadcast that had taken place shortly before Mia's death. The video was retrieved and saved as evidence. In the live stream, Mia was seen in an argument. Voices in the background could be heard calling her a setup queen, a slang term suggesting she was involved in setting people up for robbery or harm. Detectives carefully reviewed the entire video, noting who was present during the live stream, voices and faces of people visible or heard, any threats or suspicious comments made, Mia's exact location and behavior. The video also provided a timestamp and visual confirmation that Mia was alive and active less than an hour before the shooting. The next step was to examine Mia Nixon's recent phone activity, including text messages, call logs, social media messages and comments, emails. Deleted messages were recoverable. A digital forensic unit accessed her phone with proper legal clearance. From this, they built a timeline of communication in the hours leading up to her death. Several phone calls were identified, including one with an unknown number. Texts showed back and forth exchanges with multiple people, including one message that reportedly said, "We need to talk now." Investigators flagged contacts with potential suspects and began reaching out to people she had recently messaged. Detectives canvassed the neighborhood and asked residents and businesses for security camera footage. Several homes had working surveillance systems. Detectives collected and reviewed footage showing the street outside Mia's home, any cars or people seen approaching or leaving the property around the time of the shooting. Activity between 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after the time Mia was believed to have been shot. From one video, investigators observed a dark-colored sedan driving past the house twice before parking 2 blocks away. A person dressed in dark clothing was seen walking in the direction of Mia's house just minutes before shots were reported. The This footage helped narrow down the list of suspects. Police conducted interviews with Mia's family members and close friends. They asked about Mia's recent conflicts or disputes, people she might have had problems with, any threats she had received, her mood or actions in the days before the shooting. Some friends mentioned that Mia had been receiving threats online. Others confirmed that she had been accused of setting someone up in a prior incident. However, none of the family or friends could name someone who would want to kill her. Some also mentioned that Mia had been afraid recently, but had not shared specific reasons. As police cross-checked information from the live stream, text messages, and security footage, a name started to come up repeatedly: Damien Laron McDaniel III. McDaniel was a 22-year-old male from Fairfield, Alabama, who had previously been questioned in connection with other violent crimes in the area. He was also known to law enforcement due to ongoing investigations into multiple shootings and homicides, including the murder of a Birmingham firefighter and a UPS worker. Phone records placed McDaniel's device near Mia's location at the time of her death. Witnesses also placed him in the neighborhood, and camera footage showed a person matching his build near the crime scene. Based on this combination of digital, visual, and testimonial evidence, detectives identified him as the primary suspect in Mia Nixon's murder. With probable cause established, detectives presented their findings to the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. An arrest warrant was issued for Damien Laron McDaniel III for the murder of Mia Nixon. Police began a targeted search to bring McDaniel into custody. Meanwhile, the investigation continued to determine whether he acted alone or was hired by someone to carry out the killing. After identifying McDaniel as a suspect, police pulled his phone records. The data showed that McDaniel's phone was active in the same cell tower zone as Mia's neighborhood at the time of the shooting. Records showed phone pings that placed him within a few hundred meters of the crime scene. Text messages and call logs were also reviewed. One outgoing message sent from McDaniel's phone was marked around 8:37 p.m., just minutes before 911 calls were made about gunshots in Mia's driveway. In the message, McDaniel wrote vague phrases like "it's handled" and "stay low," though he didn't mention Mia by name. However, the timing raised suspicion. Additionally, there were missed calls and short voice messages exchanged between McDaniel and an unidentified number both before and after the shooting. Authorities later revealed they believed these messages were part of a murder-for-hire arrangement, though no charges were filed against any third party at the time of this report. Investigators also found that McDaniel searched for Mia's name on Facebook hours before the incident. This search activity, combined with his location and message history, added weight to the case against him. When Mia was shot, police collected bullet casings from the scene. These casings were sent to the crime lab for analysis. The Alabama Department of Forensic Sciences used ballistic fingerprinting to compare the shell casings found in Mia's driveway to those from other unsolved shootings. The results showed a direct match between the bullets used in Mia's killing and those found at two other active murder scenes. One of the cases involved the killing of Birmingham firefighter Jordan Melton, and another involved Anthony Love Jr., a UPS worker. Both men were shot with the same type of weapon, a .40 caliber handgun. Though the gun itself was not recovered at the time, investigators used matching bullet patterns to argue that McDaniel likely used the same weapon in all three murders. This connected him to multiple killings, placing him at the center of a much wider investigation. Ballistics evidence became one of the strongest points tying McDaniel to Mia's case, showing that the same firearm was used repeatedly in a pattern. Detectives discovered that Mia had recently fallen out with two former friends, who claimed she had betrayed their trust. One of them accused her of leaking private information to outsiders. Although no physical threats were reported at the time, police considered whether one of these individuals might have sought revenge or encouraged someone else to do so. Further analysis of text messages and social media exchanges showed long-standing tension between Mia and others in her community. Investigators did not find evidence that any of her personal contacts pulled the trigger themselves. However, they believed the grudge-based hostility could have motivated someone to hire or influence her killer. Police could not confirm if McDaniel had any prior direct connection to Mia. However, the possibility remains that he acted on behalf of someone else who held a personal vendetta against her. Another potential motive considered by police was the idea that Mia may have been involved in exposing or threatening to expose someone. On social media, Mia sometimes hinted at having personal knowledge of illegal activity or private matters involving people in her circle. In some of her past live streams, she made indirect statements suggesting that she knew things that could mess up people's lives. Although no direct evidence proves she was about to release damaging information, this line of investigation gained interest when police reviewed her private messages. In one conversation, sent a few days before her death, Mia told a contact that someone should watch themselves because the truth always comes out. This led detectives to consider whether someone with something to hide saw Mia as a risk. If Mia had knowledge that could lead to legal trouble, embarrassment, or exposure, that could have made her a target. It is unknown what information she was referring to in that message, but the timing raised concern. At this stage of the investigation, police did not identify the specific content or person Mia might have been referring to. However, they did not rule out that her knowledge or threats to speak out may have contributed to her being killed. The most serious and chilling possibility involved the theory of a murder-for-hire plot. The man arrested for Mia's death, Damien Laron McDaniel III. Law enforcement officials stated that McDaniel was not a first-time suspect. At the time of his arrest, he was already facing multiple active investigations connected to other violent crimes, including the high-profile murder of Birmingham firefighter Jordan Melton, who was gunned down at a city fire station, and the killing of Anthony Love Jr., a UPS driver, in a separate but similarly executed shooting. Due to the mounting evidence and connections to additional homicide cases, the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office filed multiple charges against McDaniel. These included capital murder in the death of Mia Nixon, capital murder in the death of Jordan Melton, capital murder in the death of Anthony Love Jr., additional murder charges linked to at least 11 other victims, bringing the total charges to 14 separate homicide cases. Authorities also noted that some of the charges may eventually be upgraded or reclassified based on further evidence collected from forensic and digital sources. McDaniel is currently being held without bond at the Jefferson County Jail pending trial. Police said the death of Mia Nixon is being treated as part of a broader criminal pattern rather than an isolated incident. According to statements from law enforcement, McDaniel's connection to other murder cases led investigators to believe that a murder-for-hire operation could be involved. However, as of the current phase of investigation, there is no confirmed identity or evidence pointing directly to the individual or group who may have hired McDaniel to target Mia Nixon. Authorities are analyzing call logs between McDaniel and unknown contacts, encrypted chat apps found on his devices, cash transfer records, including peer-to-peer platforms like Cash App and Zelle, vehicle GPS history, surveillance footage near the scene of each crime. Although McDaniel has not entered a public plea, legal officials confirmed that his defense counsel has been appointed due to his lack of legal representation at the time of arrest. During his first court appearance, the judge ordered a mental evaluation to determine competency for trial due to the complexity and volume of charges. As of now, trial dates for Mia Nixon's case have not been finalized. The district attorney's office has stated that due to the overlapping nature of the cases, McDaniel will likely face multiple trials, with Mia's case being prioritized due to recent public attention and the presence of digital evidence, the Facebook Live video. Prosecutors are preparing for a long legal process. There has been no indication that McDaniel will accept a plea deal at this stage. Prosecutors are reportedly considering pursuing the death penalty, depending on the outcome of the mental evaluation and trial progression. Court filings, arrest warrants, and evidence logs are being sealed temporarily to avoid compromising related investigations. The police have also stated that they are continuing to seek potential accomplices or individuals who may have funded or ordered the killing of Mia Nixon. The Mia Nixon case changed how investigators treat online threats, especially those made during live videos. Before this case, some people considered social media arguments as meaningless or just talk. But this event proved that words exchanged online can result in real-world violence. Law enforcement agencies now monitor these platforms more closely. Threats made during live streams or public posts are being taken as potential warnings. Police now Treat verbal threats on live video as part of official evidence. Record and store live streams for future review. Include social media activity as part of background checks and investigations. Law enforcement begins tracking online arguments. After Mia's murder, police departments started new protocols. These include monitoring public live streams that involve threats, gang language, or patterns of harassment. Certain keywords like setup, green light, check-in, and pull-up are flagged when found in live comments or videos. Police now work with tech companies and social media platforms to flag live arguments involving threats, report accounts connected to criminal investigations, respond faster to violent content that could lead to harm. In some cities, special task forces have been created to handle digital conflict surveillance. These teams watch for signs that an online argument may lead to a shooting, attack, or planned act of revenge. This helps officers act before violence happens, using digital data to prevent future crimes. In Mia's case, this kind of monitoring came too late. But now, new measures are in place so that future victims might be protected sooner. Following the publicity of Mia Nixon's death, police departments and community leaders issued public warnings. They told people to stop using Facebook Live and similar platforms to argue, threaten others, or share personal conflicts. These warnings were based on rising data, showing a connection between live stream arguments and retaliation shootings. Safety campaigns now include school programs teaching youth about online violence risks, social media warning banners during sensitive content, law enforcement Q&A sessions about digital safety. Law officials advise the public not to share personal beefs or confrontations online, name others during arguments on live video, make threats, even as a joke, on public platforms. Mia Nixon's family organized a small memorial gathering to honor her. This event took place several days after her death. It was not open to the general public, and no large media coverage was permitted. The family chose a private location in Birmingham, and only close relatives and selected friends were allowed to attend. No speeches were broadcast online, and no recordings were shared widely. Attendees wore plain clothing, and there was no official release in the family aside from a short message posted on Mia's former social media page, confirming her passing and thanking people for their prayers. No GoFundMe accounts or public donation drives were officially connected to the family. The family requested privacy during this period. As news of Mia Nixon's death spread online, social media users began reacting in large numbers. Several users pointed out that the Facebook Live session that occurred before her death may have played a role in escalating the situation. The phrase "set up queen," which was used during the broadcast, began trending in connection with her name. Some online users expressed frustration with the growing trend of online arguments becoming violent in real life. Others pointed to a lack of content moderation on live video platforms. A few accounts posted warnings to others, urging people not to argue on live streams or to avoid responding to public accusations. No major online campaigns or official statements from social media companies were released. Despite the shocking nature of the killing, there were no riots or public protests in Birmingham related to Mia Nixon's case. No large gatherings, demonstrations, or marches were held in connection with the murder. Police stated there was no evidence of public unrest or threats to public order. There were no organized calls for justice rallies, nor did local or national activist groups take official positions on the case at that time. The event remained classified as an active homicide investigation, and no public disruptions were linked to the incident. Schools, businesses, and public offices in the area continued normal operations. While the community showed interest in the outcome of the case, no mass mobilization or public demonstrations took place. If this story gripped your heart and left you questioning the truth, don't forget to hit that like button and share it with others who need to hear it. For more chilling true crime stories that dive deep into the mysteries behind these tragedies, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. You won't want to miss our latest updates, investigations, and thought-provoking discussions. Thank you for being part of this journey with us as we uncover the truth and seek justice. Together, we can make a difference. Stay safe, stay aware, and we'll see you in the next one.